Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to talk to you about the next phase in the real estate collapse. And if you're new to this channel, this is the Real Estate Ninja. It's not that other guy. We won't name names, fine, the Economic Ninja. Totally different channel. This is going to be focused currently on real estate. I do have a little bit of a real estate background, and we're going to talk about this next phase of the collapse. So if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button and the thumbs up button, I'd appreciate it. All right, so the next phase, I just noticed that some analysts are starting to come out and saying, don't get too excited yet, because even though we're seeing price decreases, we're seeing inventory explode. They're saying, don't get excited yet because inventory is about to dry up. And they are right, but only a little bit right. I'm gonna explain why. First off, any buildup in a market and a subsequent collapse, or let's say a plateau, right, possibly recession, is always based on one thing and one thing only: human emotion. The belief that any human being or a group of human beings believes that an asset or something is worth something, or if it's not worth something, right? That's what the human emotion, the buildup, creates, panics and moves in, and actually panics and out, on the way down and moves out, right? Real estate's no different. But some analysts are trying right now for clickbait. They're trying to, make a name for themselves. However, most real estate analysts have never even invested in real estate during the last boom that happened in the early 2000s, and subsequently investing as it came collapsing down. If they did, they would remember one very important fact, and that is what is about to happen right now. There are certain sellers that are just now listing their homes in the market. As a matter of fact, I live in one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. It's one of the most expensive and one of the nicest, I believe, in California, in the middle of California. But there are a lot of really nice luxury homes now hitting the market. Why? These were people that had them as Airbnbs for investments, or it was a second property, or it was a rental that they, moved on and just had lots of real estate, and they just now listed it, right? They saw the news articles that came out in May and June that things were starting to shift because mortgage rates were getting super expensive, and they went ahead and made the decision to list these properties. These properties have now been sitting on the market for between 3 and 4 months, and they are extremely, extremely frustrated sellers. Now, I know this because I still talk to a lot of my real estate agent buddies, and they tell me the stories all the time. Very frustrated, do not understand why their home isn't selling. Fine, I'll go ahead and lower it $100,000. It's still not selling. This must be your fault. But what they don't realize is that the buyers have went away. So this is what they're going to do. A lot of them are going to pull their listings out of frustration. At first, they'll try and do fancy little things. We've all seen it before. You pull the listing and you list it right back up about 3 days later. Try and refresh it so all the new agents that are brand new in the system don't understand what's going on and show it to their potential clients or potential buyers, which are very hard to come by right now, as a new listing. Problem is most buyers in the market know that because they've been looking more intently for a specific type of property than the actual agent that's, taking care of them has been watching, because they're looking at the broader market, their local market, and they go, yeah, right, we've already seen this, right? What's happening is those people are about to leave the market. They're about to pull their properties. Here's the problem. This is where it gets very serious. You are about to see an unemployment wave that is going to shock you. It is going to be much worse than the 2008 Great Recession. The reason why is, first off, the rate at which mortgage rates increased and subsequently interest rates, just on all kinds of different things, increased, was phenomenal in the last 12 months. To say that it is pretty much unparalleled is an understatement. All right, we have this kind of move up in the rates on a percentage basis. We have not seen since Paul Volcker spiked rates to deal with inflation, and that was on the end of the inflationary curve. All right, this is at the beginning. All right, so on a percentage basis, we have never seen anything like this. So that immediate shock wave over the last 6 and 7, maybe 9 months has created an environment where employers are having to start to lay off employees at rapid pace. One of the industries that are hardest hit, obviously, is the mortgage industry. So we're starting to see a rapid laying off of people there. There's also news stories out that CEOs are already talking about mass layoffs coming. They're going to start with the remote workers, things like that. And you're about to see a paradigm shift where people felt secure, and pretty soon their paradigm is about to change. Either they're being called back to work, and they were crazy enough to move hours away from their job because of remote work and thought it would last forever. Or they lose their job and they can no longer pay their mortgage and they have to either relocate or sell that and try and get into a cheaper apartment. And you're about to see the type of human being that is now racing to the exit to sell their home, okay? Now, I believe you're not gonna see that for the next 3 to 6 months, but I've also been very impressed, even though I said that mortgage rates were gonna increase exponentially in December going into the spring when the Federal Reserve started raising the rates, even the percentage, the rate of increase shocked me for the 10-year bond, all right? And how it correlates to mortgage rates as opposed to the Fed funds rate. So you're about to see that, and you're about to see a panic. And then there's this, now what people don't understand too is there's a margin. There's people that have bought homes, let's say 5, 6 years ago that have a certain amount of margin, profit built into their home in home equity terms, right? And so they're gonna be able to play with that. When I mean play with it, they're gonna be able to slash that house down to be the cheapest on the block, just so they can get out and hopefully have a little bit of money left. And so it's gonna be a very interesting dynamic. And once we get down to the base layer of the people that lost their jobs, and again, I believe it's gonna be a lot worse than the Great Recession, then we're gonna have a foundation in the home prices for just a little bit. And that time lag is the time where they go, all right, we got to work with the bank now because, it's either we're going to go short sale or we're going to work with the bank and try and keep our house, get into a 40-year mortgage or something like that, which sadly just puts the people in greater debt. So I think people need to realize that, yes, inventory is about to shrink, especially going into the holiday season, because normally, seasonally, that's when you see the fewer amount of homes for sale because people are busy with their families and stuff. But it's going to be a deceiving time because seasonally, that's when people pull their homes off the market because they don't want to be bothered. They want time to spend with their family, put up Christmas decorations, things like that. That makes sense, right? But also, I think it's going to lure a lot of people into this false sense of security, thinking that their housing market is going to be strong when really in all reality it's not, especially as other countries start to sell our treasury bills and cause a 10-year to spike even harder, which is going to put more upward pressure on mortgage rates. I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. I am the Real Estate Ninja. I have been a real estate agent. I've owned 2 real estate brokerages. I was a real estate investor starting back in 2001. But I'll tell you what, I'm the worst real estate agent in the world. Why? Because I can't sell you something that's going to go down because that's where we are in the market. All right, guys, that being said, the Real Estate Ninja is out.